Ennis, as the capital town of Clare, is a town steeped in tradition and culture, but over the past few years there have been growing signs of new influences coming to bear on the town. So who here isn't from Ennis? Hands up. Me! In January 1998, Áine Ní Chonaill chose the town to launch her immigration control platform. 3 years on, she says her fears have not only been realised, but exacerbated.
We look at what has been happening in Europe and what is now happening with us, and that is that I'm afraid there's no way of pussyfooting around it, that the asylum process is used as simply a stratagem to gain access to the West. It basically is a charter for immigration, I would say a charter for invasion.
While Áine fights her campaign, Ennis is learning to adapt to its new inhabitants.
The actual thrust of how life is built around people coming to a place, as we try and do in Ennis, is to embrace people as if this is where they may well be living out their lives, not that this magical dates in a couple of months or a year when they maybe get status, then everything will click into place. Life is not like that.
The Refugee Council has been working with the relevant government departments to set up structures to cater for the needs of asylum seekers, catering for everything from accommodation and money right back to the basics of teaching them the language, which for many means independence and a life without fear.
Yeah, I'm free. I can do everything I want, like to learn, to work, and there is nobody behind me looking for me to put me again in the prison, so I'm happy to be here.
While they may have their freedom, have they been afforded an Irish welcome?
Most especially the older generation. The younger ones may kind of be, taking their time to mix with the foreigners because they know little about us.
But it's not just asylum seekers that have to learn to adjust to Irish society. The same applies for all immigrants.
Almost you need to learn everything nearly, almost as a baby. Like you need to learn the codes, the jokes, the messages behind things, and that was very strange in the beginning when you constantly do not get it really,
While non-nationals feel accepted, there's another cultural group within the town who have found themselves at odds with the rest of the community.
We more or less understand,
We understand
a lot of settled people, and probably a lot of settled people understand a lot of travellers, but a lot of settled people doesn't understand why the travellers in the side of the road are, what they're going through, them and their children.
In an attempt to cater for all needs, the Clare County Development Board has brought together all interest groups to formulate a 10-year plan for the town.
Monies will be invested in this county over the duration of the National Development Plan. What's different in this approach is that we agree with the private sector, with trade unions, with the community itself and local government and other public bodies what those priorities should be, and that the determination of what's important, what's relevant, what's in most need of addressing, is that determination is made locally through partnership, and that's the strength of it and that's the opportunity in it.
So, is it realistic to assume that a utopian town can be created with everybody coexisting and living happily ever after?
If we start with the premise that every human being is sacred and entitled to respect and dignity, I think we have to start with that and go back to that every time there are difficulties. Then I think eventually we solve the problems. The world will never be without problems as long as human beings are around.
Dympna Moroney, RTE News, Ennis, County Clare.